Trump's chosen judge, federal judge Aileen Cannon, he appointed her. She's been having his back, and she effectively continues to. She's come out with just a couple of additions to his legal trouble when it comes to the stolen classified documents. She has denied the DOJ access to going through the documents, while the special master, which she has now chosen, goes through them instead. And she has chosen the one that Trump suggested. Now, notably, the DOJ was apparently also fine with this guy. So let's catch you up on all of this new material. Aileen Cannon declined to lift any part of the order she issued last week that the DOJ was asking about. That barred the department from using the stolen documents, including about 100 marked classified, in its ongoing investigation. So they had asked for immediate access to that again. They're not getting it. And she appointed a special master. This is Raymond Dearie, a semi-retired judge from the Federal District Court for the Eastern District of New York. And so it is now his task, and apparently only his task, to go through the vast majority of this classified information. There was a smaller subset of the documents that they will still be allowed to go through, but for the rest, we are now going to have to wait for Dearie, and it feels very uncomfortable to refer to him in that way, but we're going to go with it. Judge Dearie will now have the authority to sift through more than 11,000 records. The move is a blow to the Justice Department, almost certain to significantly delay its investigation. And that could well be the entire point of it. So we now have to wait until the end of November. I believe November 30th is when he is expected to or required to conclude his review. We don't have a lot of details on exactly what the timeline would be following that for us to find out what he had found, for the DOJ to begin to once again have access to those records, to potentially have some sort of consequences based on what the special master finds. And bear in mind, this is a couple of months away. And so it's entirely possible that most people in the media will have moved on. We'll be beyond the midterms at that point. I mean, God only knows what insanity we'll be dealing with. But that is, as of right now, the legal developments.
Yeah. John, I actually want to refer to Graphic 7 here because there are folks who try to get information and defend people who have gotten some documents from the government before. So they've dealt with these cases a lot. And one of them is this attorney, Mark Zed. And he is saying, well, I've never seen this in a case in my life. He says, I've been litigating against the United States government for 30 years regarding classified records. Now, remember, he's litigating against the United States government, okay? Before Democrats and GOP appointed judges, or both of them. I've never seen a federal judge disregard executive branch classification concerns to such an extent as Judge Cannon did tonight. So basically, if he's representing client took some classified documents home, let's say, okay? The government, the judges, he says, cut him no slack at all in every case, right? They're like, no, you can't just say, I don't care that the executive branch called it classified or top secret. I took him home anyway. It's like, it's not a thing, right? But Trump is saying it, and now a Trump-appointed judge who had no prior experience as a judge is saying, oh, Trump did it? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not concerned about it. Completely different standard. That's why Trump is always confused whenever anyone says that he should be prosecuted. He's like, I don't get it. I've been breaking the law my whole life, and no one's ever prosecuted me. Like, so why would you start now? No, of course, it's a different standard to me than to anyone else. Look, one of our contributors on Rebel Headquarters is Richard Rogetta, and he had top secret classified access. And he did a letter along with Congressman Ted Lieu and others that had classified access. They're like, look, if any of us did this, so is there going to be two standards? Because if any of us did this earlier or do this in the future, we will definitely go to jail. But now judges are saying, well, maybe Trump won't. Maybe there's a second set of laws that apply only to Trump. And those are Trump-appointed judges saying that Trump is almost literally above the law.
Exactly right. I mean, he has built the judiciary in his own image. So not just the United States Supreme Court, but the courts lower than the United States Supreme Court. The man is shrewd as hell and dangerous as hell. And that is why, I mean, he knows, because these are his people. And whether or not, I want to take this one step further, whether or not he ever runs for president again, he has built a Congress in his own image as well. This power, this being, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And it seems as though Trump has it at this moment.
So I want to ask both of you just to see for sure, like, if the special master request had not gone through, we still might well have to wait quite a bit to know for sure what happened with Trump. Now it's going to take longer, and I was talking with David Schuster this morning. By the time this is now concluded, or even once we get to the point where if there were going to be charges, there would be, there's now a very good chance that Donald Trump will already be a declared candidate. Like, we've almost assured that now with this delay. And so I'm kind of curious how, or if at all, these developments affect your, your expectation, your prediction of what, if any, consequences might come out of this in the end.
Yeah. So the problem is there's the law as it is, and politics as it is, and what it should be, right? So there's no reason in the world for anyone to care that he's a declared candidate. So what? So, okay, can I just murder someone in the streets and the next day go, I'm running for president? Nope, sorry. I mean, there's no special law about if you're running for president and you've declared as a candidate that you can't be prosecuted. So that's the most obvious thing in the world. Or that we would delay a prosecution because you declared yourself a candidate. And by the way, is it just president? I mean, as long as we're making up rules and laws, or can I say, hey, I'm going to run for mayor, I'm going to run for dog catcher, so you saw me murder someone on TV, but too late. And right afterwards, I declared my candidacy for city council. That's it. I'm above the law. No, look, you could say it in almost any context, and you know that the Trump standard is absurd when applied to anyone else. But here we are because of, honestly, incredible weakness from Democrats and incredible weakness from the government infrastructure overall in responding to fascism. They're not prepared for it. So they're constantly like, how do I apply etiquette? They're always thinking about etiquette. F your etiquette. There's fascists at the door. You're worried about etiquette? Look, I can prove it to you one last thing here. He just said in an interview with Hugh Hewitt, if I'm indicted, people are not going to stand for it, okay? And he said people are going to be very angry in this country, and there's going to be problems in this country. Now, imagine if I said the same exact thing, but I said it about Trump. And I said, if Trump says something about me, he's going to have very significant problems, and my fans won't stand for it. And I guarantee you he'll have problems. The Secret Service would investigate me and maybe arrest me. But Trump says it, threatens the country at large. Everybody's like, no, it's Trump. We got a rich white right-winger. Everybody back out. Everybody back out. Let the fascist do whatever he wants, plus etiquette.
Jink, the Democrats do not have the intestinal fortitude. I'm being kind because it's a PG show. They're just not gangster enough. They are just not. And it is going to be because of that they will be hesitant, John, I think, to do anything. Let us not forget that Mr. Trump did say that he could walk out and shoot somebody. I think it was on Fifth Avenue. If I got the avenue wrong, let me know. And he said nothing would happen to me. Well, guess what? He has proven himself to be right, at least symbolically right so far.